Every summer, my father plans a family trip for us all to go to a baseball game. He has my whole family and I pile into the car, and we usually end up being really squished, but are more excited to go see our favorite baseball team play, the Chicago White Sox. But this day was much different than the other visits we have had before. Halfway to Chicago, my father realized that we did not have everyone's ticket and that they were missing. At the rate that we were driving, we would have been late for the baseball game if we turned around back home. My father simply said that he could explain the situation to the men at the ticket booth and we should be able to still get in. As we arrived at U.S. Cellular Field, we took out our lawn chairs and snacks and hung out in the parking lot until the stadium gates opened. We ate hot dogs, chips, pop, and a bunch of junk food. It was a great day except for the heat. It was so hot, and we all kept complaining about when we were going to go inside and sit in our favorite seats that we get to sit in every time we go to a baseball game there. There is shade, cool wind hitting us, and it is so comfortable. My father pulled me to the side soon after we were done eating and said, "Let's go get the ticket situation fixed." As we approached the ticket booth man, he was very understanding and was about to print our tickets that we had lost. My dad screamed, "No! Wait! Is there a way we can switch our tickets closer to the field?" I looked at him with a puzzled face and said, "Huh? But we always sit upstairs where there is shade and enough wind to keep us cool. Especially on a hot day like today." "Dad, no! It's okay. We will be fine. There's no shade in those seats you want." My dad ignored my response and carried on with wanting to trade in all of our tickets closer to the field. The ticket booth man said that we would be able to go in our regular seats at any point of the game if we wanted to, and that honestly brought a little relief to me. I was confused at first with my father's decision, but figured, hey, why not? The heat cannot be that bad. And that was the same perspective the rest of my family had as well, so we headed to the entry gates. On our way to our destination, we could not help and stop to take pictures with each other. We were just so excited at this point. What could go wrong? We finally found our seats and were in amazement that we were pretty close to the field. My dad's idea actually was amazing. We all sat down, and within the first 10 minutes of being in these great seats, my grandmother looked like she wanted to pass out, and my sister looked like she was dehydrating because the heat was beating on us all. We kept having to go buy water bottles to stay hydrated and kept asking my dad if we could go back to our seats that we usually sit in. But he kept on replying back, "Just hold on a little longer. I promise we will go to our regular seats by the 7th inning." Again, we did not know why my father was so adamant about having to sit in these seats, but were too sweaty and tired to even begin to argue. So we sat there. Each inning kept on ending, which meant we were closer to the 7th, and we were pretty much soaked in our own sweat. It was so disgusting that we did not even want to continue to watch the baseball game anymore. Then finally, it was the 7th inning. My whole family jumped up and said, "Well, let's all head to our regular seats to catch some shade." And there goes my father. "No, just please wait a little longer, please." He was practically begging us all to sit back down at this point. But all we wanted to do was get in the shade and have more water. We all began to argue and say, "Are you crazy? This heat is driving us insane." And in the midst of us all fighting about leaving these now horrible seats, my dad jumped up and said, "Look, look, over there, on the screen." We all turned around and seen two messages on the scoreboard saying, "Congratulations, Naomi Alisea, on your graduation from your family," and "Happy 12th birthday, little Jojo, from your family." Naomi is my younger sister who had just recently graduated from high school the week before, and little Jojo was my baby brother who had a birthday coming up the next week. We all looked at my father and just laughed and smiled and were extremely touched that he had planned this whole baseball game to celebrate my brother and sister. It was such a surprise that we all had a sudden burst of energy and were yelling and taking more pictures. After celebrating, my father said, "Now we can go to our regular seats." He did not have to ask us twice because we were 2 steps ahead and were already leaving. Soon after, we were in our regular seats that we usually love to sit in and were no longer sweating and in the scorching sun. We finished watching our beloved White Sox play and the game was finished. We were all tired, sweaty, and wanted a good cold shower. And although it was a very hot day, I am thankful for the time he had put in to create such a memorable day for us all. Like my father says, moments together are what will matter the most to us in the future. And that hot, adventurous day was one of those moments.